Make my wish come true. Baby, all I want for Christmas is you. The pre-order said mid-December. Now it looks like I won't get a figure of the woman of my dreams until 2021.
Mayor Aaron, are you crying again about the basic 116 Dakota Kai figure?
What? No. No, I was just, making room on my Becky shelf for that new Becky coming. Because I got notification that 115 Becky and Tegan are coming today.
Mayor Aaron.
Okay, fine, I may have been a wee bit upset, but the pre-order said mid-December, and now it's coming up on Christmas, and I don't know if I'll have Dakota yet.
Well, if you stop acting like an entitled baby, I'll give you this present early to cheer you up.
Oh boy, for reals? Oh my god, you're the freaking best. Yoink. Thank you, Comer Alexa. I freaking love you.
I wonder how long until he realizes he grabbed the wrong present.
What the frick is Blackpink? Whoa.
Okay, this isn't even fun waiting. I'm just going to give the right present to him. Oh. My. God.
When I hit you with that do-do-do-do-do. Oh, hey, Comer Alexa, how did you know that I would like Blackpink so much?
I didn't. That album was actually for me. I was coming to tell you that you took the wrong present and give you the correct one.
Wait, why would you wrap a present for yourself?
Self-satisfaction. Anyways, here, take this.
Oh my god, it's Dakota Kai! Comer Alexa, how did you? When did you? You know what? It doesn't even matter. These are the best 2 early Christmas presents ever!
The album is mine. You know what, never mind whatever. We can share it. Merry Christmas, Mayor Aaron.
And Merry Christmas to you, Comer Alexa. Now if you excuse me, I have some brand new women's figs to review. But first... Blackpink in your area. Today, we're going to be reviewing Basic 115 Tegan Nox Becky Lynch, and Basic 116 Dakota Kai. Now, I have to tell you, I'm really impressed with these figures, and I can't wait to get a closer look. But let's start off with that basic 116 Dakota Kai, since that's the one I was really looking forward to. Basic 116 Dakota Kai in her debut figure. This attire is from NXT on February 12th, 2020, where she defeated Candice LeRae. So anyone that watches my channel knows that I am in love with Dakota Kai. I absolutely love her, and I adore her work in the ring, and I respect her tons. But I know the biggest question with this figure was that face. So here's a close look, and we'll start with that, then go to the attire. And the face looks pretty good, to be honest with you. The eyes might be a tad too big. That might be what's off a little bit. But overall, the face sculpt is good, and that TrueFX scan technology, it works for her, honestly. It's also nice they included her little nose ring. Now, looking at her hair mold, this is what really stands out. So on the left side, she has this blondish brown color, and it's got a nice signature mold to her with a ponytail. And as we move her around, she's got that right side braided, and it's real dark. And she also has a double ear piercing, triple ear piercing. And it looks pretty dang good. So the face definitely passes. I think it's pretty darn good. There might be something a little bit off, but I'll have to look at it a little longer and try to decide. Now the weak part of this figure is obviously this upper extremity. She just has this plain black t-shirt that says Capcoda on it. Now I realize that it is signature to what she wore that night, but she has had so many different attires that would have been fun in basic form. However, rather than have a dulled down version of her regular ring attire, it's kind of cool to me that they just chose this. That way they weren't taking any shortcuts. Now, look at this, y'all. Metallic purple paint. Metallic paint, we get it. We finally get it. Now, she's got a silver waistband, and then that purple's a real metallic color. Now, she has this white molded knee brace that I believe is removable. It's my first time getting a knee brace on a figure. And she has black knee pads, little black sleeve that goes up, and black boots. But overall, to be honest with you, I really like this Dakota Kai figure. And like I said, it might be basic in attire, but it does the trick because it is equivalent to what she wore that night. Basic 115 Tegan Nox in her debut figure. This attire is from NXT UK on October 3rd, 2019, where Kaylee Ray retained her UK Women's Championship by defeating Tegan. It's also important to note that Tegan re-injured her knee in that match. Next up, let's cover Basic 115 Tegan Nox, and I have to tell you, this face frickin' rules. Now, those prototype images, or I guess the men-on-card images that came out recently, looked horrible. The forehead was too long, the eyebrows were too low. It was just a bizarre occurrence. But not just looking at it straight on does it look good, but looking at different angles, it does resemble Tegan quite a bit, and it looks totally proportionate. So, I'm a big fan of that face scan. Now the hair, it works fine. You know, it's a darker color, goes into this greenish yellow type color. It's a little thick on the ends, but that's really not a big deal, honestly, because I'm just happy that they fixed that face somehow. So it must have been one of the final decisions they made. Now what really stands out on her is all the tattoo detail that they included, which is very accurate. And it's cool because it's not a solid black color, it's kind of like a faded black, so it actually looks like an actual tattoo. And she has them all over. She has one on her back, I believe. Yep, she has two little paw prints on her back. Now, moving on to this Captain Marvel-inspired attire. It looks great, and I like that they chose this green color. I don't see green too well, but as far as I can tell, it pops. And somehow, some way, they got away with using the Captain Marvel-inspired gear, but I'm happy about it. Now, this is just all painted on. But like I said, in these women's basics, if the detail on the paint application is superb, then I don't mind that there's not a lot of molding, to be honest with you. And they did a good job with the paint application. It looks real clean all throughout. Now, something I'm going to point out to be negative is this belly button. They got that smoothed over t-shirt mold there when it should be a dimple. Now, she also comes with a silver knee brace and a black knee brace. And then she has green boots with the green kick pads. Now, this Tegan rules, honestly, and I'm wishing I would order two now. Basic Series 115 Becky Lynch. This attire is from Hell in a Cell 2019 on October 6th, where she retained her Raw Women's Championship by defeating Sasha Banks. Now on to Basic 115 Becky Lynch, and, well, frick, guys, it finally happened to me. I got that scanning printing error, and it looks goofy AF. It's off and looks horrible, honestly, so just to show you what the scan is supposed to look like, here's the Battle Pack Becky Lynch that came with Seth Rollins, and this is my favorite Becky Lynch scan, in all actuality. I have issues with that ponytail mold, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. So this is what the scan is supposed to look like, and I love the smirk, the little eyebrow raised. And then what I got, it's a little goofy. So let's move past that scary face and go to the attire. So what I like about this attire is it is a simple attire that she wore. So to have it in basic form is just fine. And the little gold detailing is a nice little application on the knees and on the chest. And what I like about this Becky is, look at this midsection. There's not a dimple, there's not a hole, there's nothing. It's smoothed over, so it does look like she is wearing that wrestling attire. Now, it is all just painted on, but that's passable, honestly. And then moving down to her boots, she just has her short boots and then a little black spandex painted up toward her knee pad. So this Becky had everything I needed to be like my favorite Becky, and that face threw it off for me. I know it's just a scanning error, printing error, but it is what it is. Now, my biggest complaint with this Becky, and it's the same thing with this battle pack that came with Seth, is, like she's standing now, but they do not stand up very well. And the reasoning is this ponytail is extremely heavy. So if you stand her up straight like she should, look, homegirl just takes a bow, and I got her feet all splayed out. So you almost have to hunch her over like an old lady. Or what I found is if you put a belt in her hands and hold it up in front of her, that kind of equals out the balance. But the ponytail mold is nice, but it does make her fall over, which is frustrating. Now it's time to give them scores. So anyone new to the channel, I want to explain that I have two different scales. An elite scale for the women's figs and a basic scale. So just keep that in mind. So let's start off with Dakota Kai here. This is I wouldn't say great, but it is a very good first-in-line figure. I know the attire is just plain and a little boring, but the little accents of the glittery purple shorts, the silver waistband, the white knee brace, and that face scan, the more I look at it, I love it. It's awesome. So those combinations together, I give this Dakota an 8.5 because I feel like there's a lot of positivity to this figure, and I'm a little biased because I love Dakota Kai. But honestly, I think that's a fair score because it's a cool first-in-line figure. I'd love to see her have an elite someday. Moving on to Becky Lynch, I'm going to give her a 6 out of 10. Now, the main reasoning is, as much as I like that face scan when it's done right, not when it's misprinted like mine, if I just assume that that face was perfect, it bothers me that it can't even stand up, and this is about as bland and boring of an attire as you can get, honestly. This figure doesn't bring a whole lot to the table, and I have a Becky Lynch collection, and this one is not going to stand out. So, that being said, I think a 6 out of 10 is pretty fair. Now, this Tegan Nox is the true surprise of today, for me at least. This figure freaking rules. I give it a 9 out of 10. Now, that face scan looks great in person. Those pictures we saw online were horrible, but in hand, it definitely looks different. They made changes, and it looks awesome. I think the attire is also great, and the tattoo detail is great. Also, the inclusion of the 2 knee braces, I mean, you can't get much better as far as a basic goes. So I absolutely love it. Thanks for stopping by Lumberjillville. Women's wrestling lives here. Make sure to hit like and subscribe to get first looks at these women's wrestling figures. Now, I just got word today that Sasha Banks Elite 83 has been shipped, and I should get her on Christmas Eve. So I'm super excited, and look for the review of Elite 83 Sasha Banks on Christmas Eve. Have a good night, y'all.